Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of This Organized Life's Tip of the Week. I'm your host, Lori Palau, and happy St. Patrick's Day if you're listening to this in real time, guys. Hopefully, wherever you are, you're celebrating and having a beer, some corned beef and cabbage, whatever. Um, maybe some leprechaun brought you some joy. Super happy. I always love St. Patrick's Day because I know that that means spring is literally right around the corner, and it's fitting because we are doing our little mini series here on our Tip of the Week episodes, all about spring cleaning. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite spots to declutter and organize, and that is the pantry. But before I get into that, just want to remind you guys we still have some spots left for our Clutter Clinic series. And at least at the time that I'm recording this, we have some spots left. And that is going to be our fun, real life, interactive lunch and learn workshop. And it's a way for you to ask your questions. I'm going to be teaching on a variety of different topics. The one for April is all about closets, which is a pretty broad topic. We're talking about decluttering strategies, my favorite products, the things that I like, my favorite rules to keep things organized, my products and services, all the things. And I love our Clutter Clinic workshops because it's a way for me to connect up with you guys and hear from you, hear your pain points, and offer you very specific individual solutions. So it's awesome. There's a link in our show notes for you to register, or you can just visit our website, simply the letter B like boy organized.com/workshop. But let's get back to today's episode, which is all about the pantry. And this is when people ask me, like, what's your favorite place to organize? The pantry is always hands down my favorite place to organize. I think for me, it probably stems from the fact that I love to cook. So I like being in the kitchen. That's actually like one of my happy places. And I like the kind of black and whiteness of pantry organizing, unlike clothes and some other areas that have a little bit more emotional clutter. Pantry items, there isn't a lot of emotion that comes into it. You're talking about things much like with the medicine cabinet, you're talking about very like expiration dates. It's either good or it's not good. We use it or we don't use it. There's not as many, well, I might someday. I mean, there are a few things, but again, the majority of things in your pantry are going to have a defined expiration date, which takes the guesswork and decision fatigue away from you. And then organizing pantry to me is fun because you again have a very defined space that you're working in. It's very easy to measure, and then you can say, well, this bin works, this bin doesn't. I like clear. I like to, hidden baskets behind, that I can't see what I have, whatever it is, you get to really customize it with your own personality and style. So let's run through my do's and don'ts checklist when it comes to pantry organizing. So the first thing we're going to do, if you're going to declutter the pantry, and again, everybody's pantry is different. So if you have a super huge pantry, maybe you're not going to empty all the contents at once. Maybe you're going to do shelf by shelf. But I have a small reach-in pantry, and for some people, their pantry might be just a couple of cabinets in their kitchen, and that's okay. But you want to take this stuff and you want to remove it. You want to remove it completely. You want to empty the shelf. You want to empty the cabinet, whatever that looks like. And we're going to just wipe everything down. You're going to use like a damp cloth. You're going to use a Clorox wipe. You're going to use whatever like non-toxic cleaner you prefer. But you just want to wipe everything down and just like get all the all the crumbs and ick and whatever loose things, somehow, there's always like loose chips or cereal or something that's floating around. So just clean it all out. And that gives you a fresh, clean slate to start with. Then once you have everything out, you can then begin to sort, right? We're using our ESP method, right? Which is our empty, sort, purge. We go through this for all of our spaces. And as you are emptying it, you can start to sort it by category, right? So maybe you're putting all your canned goods together, you're putting all of your, grains together, you're, putting cereals together. This way, it makes it easier for you when it comes to the inventorying of it. So you're going to be emptying it. And as long as you're emptying it, and you just say, like, okay, here we go. We're going to put like with like. That's what I like to do. And then once you do that, you want to start to check your expiration dates. And this is where you're going to want to either have your notes app open on your phone, or you're going to want to have like an actual pen and paper handy, because anything that's expired, and this is going to, I guarantee you're going to have something, at least something expired. It's going to be your spices, or it's going to be, I don't even know. Like, it could be something that you stocked up on and you're like, oh my God, I bought all this like chicken stock for the winter and now we're in spring and it's expired. I don't know what it is, but you're going to have something, chips, half bag of chips, whatever it is, that is going to no longer be good. It's going to be stale or expired. And so what you want to do is you want to inventory those things so that when you get rid of it, you know to replace it. Spices, I cannot tell you how many homes I've been in where the spices have expired like 10 years ago, because people just don't check the expiration. And so many spices, you buy it once for a recipe and you like maybe never use it again, or you use it like once in a blue moon. I know for me, I have my staple spices that I use, and then the other ones are just kind of like as needed. So, especially those items that don't get used on the regular, make sure that you check those expiration. And if you want to replace them, that's totally fine. But just make a list. Don't hold on to them and go, oh, I'll just do it. Like, no, 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 no. Now is the time. So go through and check those expiration dates and just ditch it, right? Don't hold on to things, and just make that list of knowing what to replace. If there is stuff that you bought, and this is a big thing, especially when my kids were younger, they would be like into a particular snack and I would buy it and they'd be like, oh my God, we love Pirate's Booty. And then I would go to Costco and I would buy Pirate's Booty and they would go, we hate Pirate's Booty. We don't ever want to eat it again. And now I have all this Pirate's Booty in my house that is not expired, but nobody is eating them. So what do? You can donate them. I'm sure there is some sort of uh, soup kitchen or food bank that is near you that you can drop stuff off. So just Google that if you don't know where one is. Just say, food bank near me, and you can, as long as it hasn't been opened, chances are they will accept it. So that is something that I strongly recommend, because I can't tell you, I've never met a parent that has not. And it's always where you're going to the regular grocery store and you're like, okay, I'm buying, whatever these snacks are for my kids. And they're like, we love it. We love it. And then once you go to Costco and you buy it in bulk, that's when they're like, I don't really like that anymore. And you're stuck with all of these fruit snacks or whatever that is. And now you're like, what am I going to do now? I just spent all this money and I have taken up all this real estate. So please, please donate anything that you can. There's so many people. Food scarcity is a thing. And if you can let somebody else benefit from the stuff that you're not using, that is a great way to pay it forward and help people. Now, again, we've been going through. So at this point, you've inventoried. You see also what you're missing. Oh, I could really use to restock this. You put that down on your list. Then it's time to say, okay, what what are the containers that I need to keep this stuff organized, assuming you don't already have them. So if instead of just having everything on a shelf that just kind of falls around willy-nilly, I'm a big fan of containing things in bins or baskets. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can, if you like it to be clear, you can buy acrylic bins. There's ones at the Container Store that I like. There's ones at Target that I like. Like, it really runs the gamut. You don't have to spend a ton of money. If you want to add a little bit more decorative flair, you can do that too. So just figuring out what are the good utilitarian bins or baskets to contain the stuff that you're having so that you can say, oh, here's all my breads, here's all my pastas. I love either door over the door organizers or the stacked stuff for canned goods so that you can see what's in the back because they have a tendency things get lost in the back. So I love being able to do that and finding kind of what products are going to support how you use your pantry, right? If you're somebody that uses a lot of soups and packets and things like that, you're going to want to have it organizers that are going to make it easy for you to access that kind of stuff. Because again, we don't access what we can't see. And so we want to make it easy for us to be able to see and use all of the real estate that we have in our pantry or cabinet space. And then, if need be, label. Sometimes labeling isn't necessary in a pantry because it's self explanatory. But in other times, I like to label. I like to say, this is like nuts and grains. This is sweet snacks. This is chips. Again, that's a little add-on. You don't have to do that, but some people prefer to do it. And this is also helpful if you have people that have specific food sensitivities or food allergies. You can have like a gluten-free shelf or a sugar-free shelf or whatever that looks like for you in your family so that we know that those items are safe and contained from the rest of the population. And this is the biggest thing when it comes to pantry organization, is take inventory before you go shopping. Now we're talking about restocking smartly. What items are we using in this season for us? Are we going to be spending 3 nights a week at the ball field where we need to like have bag snacks so we can grab and go? Make your pantry support your life where you are right now in the season. And your spring might look very different than your winter. And so doing this seasonally is a great way for you to, again, stay ahead of the curve, go through it, and hopefully, if you're doing it, a couple times a year, it won't be as overwhelming. So that's it for this episode of decluttering and spring cleaning your pantry. Just a reminder, head on over to our website, simplybeorganized.com/workshop, or head to our show notes to register for our upcoming Clutter Clinic. I would love to see you there, and it's going to be super fun. And I hope you have a great week, guys. I'll be back again on Thursday with another episode. Until then, I'm Lori Plow. Peace out.